In a world of ever-advancing military technology, the true test of a nation's defense isn't just in simulations, it's in live combat. The recent Iranian missile launch was more than a political signal. It was a live, high-stakes examination of one of the world's most sophisticated air defense networks. To break down the technology involved and the strategic fallout of this event, we're joined by defense analyst Dr. Evelyn Reed and retired General Marcus Vance. From a technical standpoint, Israel's multi-layered shield was pushed to its limits. This network is a complex integration of systems, with each layer designed to counter specific threats. At the forefront is the Arrow system, engineered specifically for high-altitude, long-range ballistic threats like the Sejjile missile. The core challenge presented by the Sejjile is its speed and propulsion. Its solid-fuel engine allows for a much faster launch preparation, making it incredibly difficult to detect before it's in the air. This drastically compresses the intercept window, giving defense operators mere minutes to track a target and neutralize the incoming warhead. Strategically, this direct engagement changes the fundamental dynamics of the region. For years, the conflict has been characterized by proxy warfare and deniable attacks. However, Iran is now demonstrating a clear and undeniable capability to strike directly at the heart of Israel, bypassing its regional proxies. This isn't about minor border skirmishes or low-level provocations anymore. It's about defending against long-range, precision-guided attacks that can threaten critical infrastructure and population centers. The launch signals a new level of confidence from Tehran, creating a much more direct, volatile, and unpredictable standoff. So while the headlines may focus on a successful interception, that is only one part of a much larger story. The more significant takeaway is the clear evidence of a fundamental shift in regional strategy, moving from indirect conflict to direct confrontation. The age of plausible deniability is fading, replaced by a new era of overt military posturing. Dr. Reed, General Vance, thank you both for your invaluable insights into this critical development. According to Israeli authorities, the situation unfolded differently from the version described by Iranian officials. The Israeli Defense Forces stated that early warning systems detected a missile launch originating from Iran and immediately activated a layered interception response. Israel's air defense network operates through several integrated systems designed to counter threats at different ranges and altitudes. The Arrow system focuses on intercepting long-range ballistic missiles in the upper atmosphere. David's sling is designed to target medium-range missiles and large rockets during their mid-flight phase. Closer to the ground, the Iron Dome system handles short-range projectiles such as rockets and artillery shells. Israeli officials stated that radar tracking allowed interceptors to calculate the missile's trajectory within seconds. According to military statements, defensive systems were deployed to ensure the projectile could not reach populated areas or strategic infrastructure. Israeli authorities did not immediately confirm whether the missile had been fully intercepted or diverted away from its intended target. However, they stated that the defense network functioned as designed and that civilian protection protocols were activated across the affected regions. U.S. media outlets citing defense analysts noted that the Sejjil missile's speed and altitude profile could present new challenges for interception systems if deployed in larger numbers. Between these narratives lies a complex reality that analysts are still working to understand. Why does the Sejjil missile matter in this confrontation? The answer lies in its strategic role. The Sejjil is one of Iran's most advanced medium-range ballistic missiles. With a range estimated at roughly 2,000 kilometers, it can reach Israel from deep inside Iranian territory. That capability eliminates the need for Iran to rely solely on allied groups positioned closer to Israeli borders. The missile's solid fuel design is equally significant. Traditional liquid fuel missiles require fueling before launch, a process that can take hours and can be detected by surveillance satellites. Solid fuel missiles, by contrast, can remain ready for launch for extended periods and require far less preparation time. That operational difference complicates detection. A launch order can be executed quickly, reducing the window for intelligence agencies to identify and neutralize a missile before it leaves the ground. The potential target also carries strategic importance. High-value Israeli military facilities often serve as command hubs, linking intelligence, air defense, and operational planning systems. Disrupting such infrastructure, even symbolically, sends a message about vulnerability. Analysts noted that by using a Sejjil missile rather than a shorter-range weapon, Iran may have intended to demonstrate a new phase of direct strategic reach. The message was clear. Iran wanted its long-range strike capability to be visible. The consequences of that demonstration began unfolding almost immediately. First came the military reaction. Israeli defense authorities elevated alert levels across multiple bases and reportedly placed additional interceptor units on standby. According to regional security observers, surveillance flights increased along Israel's eastern approaches, while naval patrols intensified in nearby waters. That immediate response extended beyond Israel. Neighboring countries quietly reviewed their own defensive readiness. Jordan and Saudi Arabia increased monitoring of regional airspace, according to regional media reports, while Gulf defense officials began evaluating potential spillover risks. What does this mean for global markets? The answer is uncertainty. Energy traders reacted quickly as news of the missile launch circulated through international financial networks. Oil prices briefly climbed during early trading sessions as investors evaluated the risk of wider conflict involving Iran and Israel. That spike in oil prices has consequences far beyond the region. Shipping costs rise, transportation expenses climb, manufacturing costs increase. Global supply chains begin recalculating risk premiums almost immediately. Diplomatic channels also activated rapidly. According to international media reports, officials from the United Nations and several European governments began calling for restraint from both sides. Behind closed doors, diplomatic messages reportedly emphasized the danger of miscalculation in an already volatile region. Inside the United States, the political reaction unfolded along familiar lines. Members of Congress called for briefings from defense and intelligence officials regarding Iran's missile capabilities and Israel's defensive readiness. Analysts in Washington began debating whether additional sanctions or security assistance might follow. Each layer of reaction reflected the same underlying concern, that a single missile launch could trigger a broader chain of escalation. Iran maintains that the missile launch was a measured demonstration of deterrence and a response to what it describes as Israeli aggression. Israel maintains that its defensive systems successfully neutralized the threat and that it retains full capability to respond if necessary. Between those two positions lies a fragile balance. The Middle East has experienced missile exchanges before, but the introduction of new weapon systems and longer-range strike capabilities changes the strategic equation. Analysts note that every new demonstration of capability alters calculations on both sides. One launch can lead to another. One interception can invite a more complex attack. Military planners in multiple countries are now studying the same question. How stable is the current deterrence framework? For now, the region remains on alert, but not yet in open escalation. Military commanders continue monitoring airspace. Diplomatic channels remain active. Intelligence agencies are analyzing flight data from the missile launch to determine exactly what occurred. The uncertainty remains. Will this missile launch remain an isolated incident, or is it the beginning of something far larger? Stay tuned for further updates as this situation continues to develop. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss the latest dramatic geopolitical developments shaping the world.